Our most asked questions about social media. Hello, my name is Anna Lagrange and I'm one half of Baba Business.
And my name is Liz Stanford, and I am the other half of Baba Business, the Birth and Baby Business Academy. Right, so this week's all about and we've got some great questions. So the first question we're going to look at is, I know I should be using social media, but how do I actually turn followers into paying clients? So this is it reminds me of something else as well. A lot of people say, how do I get followers who aren't other sort of birth and baby business?
Yeah, I was also thinking exactly the same thing because we actually get this question. Would say almost this is our most asked question about social media because people feel like they're posting and they're not getting anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had so many conversations with clients and instructors from the Calm Birth School about this before. And the truth of the matter is that it just absolutely takes time. You know, you don't just go show up on social media, click your fingers, and then, you've got this pool of people to sell to are always going to buy your services. It just doesn't happen in that way. We've got to see social media for what it is. So it's a free tool for our business, and the key is in the name, like it's social. It's not just about
Yes.
and telling people, this is my class, go here, it costs this much, do this, do that. It's about building relationships and building a network online. And like any relationship, it takes a while for that to become, for the know, like, trust factor to really build and develop. So we always suggest that people are really mindful of that, and that they really work at that as well, that they work at cultivating an audience on there of people who like want to be there, that want their content that you're putting out. And then you create some interaction and some engagement, and you move them. It's like they're first off, they're cold, aren't they, when they first find you, if they
Yeah.
don't know people, and you've got to warm them up somehow to get
Yeah.
to know, trust you. Think about your own buying habits. Would you go straight on social media and you see somebody and go, oh right, yeah, I'm just gonna book that person's service straight away? You probably wouldn't. You would probably do a bit of research,
No.
like hang around on their Instagram account for a while to find out what they're really like. So I think
Especially something vulnerable, like like we work with we work with people at one of the most vulnerable times of their life. You're going to be, like even like a birth class, like for us it's every day, it's our bread and butter, and breastfeeding, that's like really personal to people. They've probably never been in a room and spoken or heard someone talking about since like year 8 at school, where the word vagina has been mentioned in a group setting. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like a vulnerable thing for people, not for us because we talk about it all the time, but and again, same, talk about breastfeeding with their partner there, whatever. So there's no way they're just going to see one flyer or one post and just be like, yeah, I'll go and book on that. You're going to have to explain a bit more, like they're going to have to feel like they can trust you to come and be with you in a room or even online to do something. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of that. And I think about my friends who have really, really big social media followings, things are influencer kind of territory. There's a few things that they all do, and it's not necessarily what you'd think. It's not necessarily that they're posting loads and loads and loads. It's that they show up of themselves, and they just will happily waffle and just be quite, not even waffle, but just spill it out, just be themselves on social media. So that's one thing. They are just them, and it's something that I find quite difficult, but I'm always working at doing better. And the other thing is exactly what you were saying. They reply to every single comment on their feed. They like every comment. They are probably in the DMs, having conversations with people as well. They are using it as social media, not like notice board media, if you like. They're not just, here's the thing. The interaction, and the thing is, the algorithm likes that too. That's also what Instagram particularly, but I'm sure TikTok as well. Facebook, who knows what the algorithm's thinking in the background, but basically that's what they want. They want to build communities, they want to build connections. We know that. So if you're just doing a lot of showing, or or not even a lot of it, just like, this is what I do, and you're not having conversation with people, you're not going to be prioritized by those social media platforms. So the two-way communication, relationship building, is absolutely an essential part of it. And I think we all forget it. We tend to be, I know we all consume a lot of social media as well, and we often spend a lot of time looking at stuff, and it's just really important to remember to do that interacting. So even on the stuff that you consume, first of all, make sure that you're consuming stuff where your ideal client is going to be. Not just stuff around your interests. So not just like, I don't know, cat videos or whatever, but also, your ideal client. And then you're also commenting, you're also showing your interest in other people who have got similar ideal clients to you, and having conversations with like, oh, this looks great, or oh, I wish I'd had that when mine were little, or perhaps it's a question about, what sort of birth did you have, or I love answering those posts, like, when did your babies arrive, or all that kind of stuff. Like, be a part of that.
It's so important. I think people forget like we said, the social side is not just about your account and engaging on your account. It's about engaging on other people's account, and that helps to bring people over to your account. So go and look at some bigger accounts where your ideal client might be hanging out, exactly what Anna was saying, and be commenting on there. And then they will click on, if they like what you say, they might click on your handle. That will bring them to your Instagram. Make sure your bio is optimized, so when they land there, they know exactly who you are and what you do, and how they can get to know you better. And then it's like you're trying to lead, like, come over here, without saying come over here. You're kind of tempting them over to hang out with you a little bit more. And then when they land on your bio, if you've got some stories in there where you've been taught, that's what I always do. If I find some, I like what they said, I follow them, and then I'm like, I'm going to go to their stories and see, because it's like the behind the scenes, isn't it? You get to know that person a little bit better. You move a little bit closer to them. And then that's the other thing I was going to say about social media. Sometimes we can get in habits, can't we, of just doing one type of post. But again, Instagram in particular, but I'm sure other social media platforms, they like you to use all the things that they've got on offer. So don't just be doing like single graphics. What about your carousels, your reels? What about going live? What about using your stories? All of those sorts of things help to show Instagram that your account is like, it's in use, and that that people, and if you're interacting with people, that people are interested. So I think it also, saying all that, I'm like, gosh, I don't want people to get really overwhelmed by it and think that you've got to be on social media 24/7, because that's not what we want, particularly if you've got an in-person business.
Yes,
you need to have an in-person marketing strategy. But in today's digital society, we do need to have that presence on social media.
We need to have a presence. It's unlikely to be the thing that grows your business that on its own grows its businesses. So as much as this is an episode about social media, we bang on about it all the time. You've got to have those in-person connections and networking, and that is going to grow your business more than social media, as certainly to start with. And I think just make sure you're doing that a lot, but also having your presence online is going to make a big difference. There's nothing more annoying for me than to be like, see a service or hear about a service, and I go and look up on Instagram or Facebook and they're not there. I'm just like, as far as I'm concerned, you don't exist. So you've got to do both. And especially like I'm 48. Most of our parents now, they're millennials, they're Gen Zs. I mean, so they are doing, if I'm doing that, they definitely want to see people on social media. So we do have to sort of keep up with the times and keep up with our ideal clients and know what they're doing and where they're hanging out. So,
and it keeps us young.
It does. Right, next question. How can I stay consistent with posting without spending hours every week creating content?
That's actually moves quite nicely into what we were just talking about. So we actually do have a resource that people can access, especially in the membership, which is our social media scheduler. Sometimes we put it out there for free, and sometimes we don't.
Well,
sometimes...
at the moment, you can get it as part of our summer holiday bundle, so that is an option as well. Go and check that out. We'll put the link for that in the notes below, so you can go and grab that £7 summer holiday bundle. But yeah, I agree. Like having a bit of a plan. Do you know what it is? There's two things. First of all, some people spend a lot of time creating their social media posts, but actually what people spend a lot of time doing is thinking about, what am I going to post? That is I think the biggest time and energy sucker, and that's what then makes people procrastinate.
Yeah.
So actually, when it comes to this question, I think planning is key. You've got to have a bit of planning, and you need to not overthink it. That's when people are spending so long, because the reason people spend so long on it, because they're so worried about how it's going to come across. How's this person going to find it? How's this person? Is this going to upset somebody? Is this going to be offensive to someone else? Is this, you know what I mean? We just overthink it so much, and actually we'd be better just putting stuff out regularly. That's as long as it's tuning into our ideal client, it's fine. So a bit of planning and thinking about, okay, what are my pillars, what are my themes going to be for social media, and then even if you can, like, list out some topics, have them on your wall, spend a bit of time doing that, and then when you're ready to put some posts together, whether it's just one at a time because it's the day to put one out, or whether it's you're going to put some time aside for batching some stuff you're going to schedule, then you've got the ideas already there to go. I think that's what makes, just simplify the whole process.
Yeah, but it comes back again to knowing your ideal client, doesn't it? And understanding your ideal client makes content creation really easy. So do that work, and then just exactly like what Anna was saying, if you've got some pillars and some themes and some ideas, then it just makes it really easy, and you're not just go out there go, oh my god, what am I going to post? So our social media scheduler really helps you with that. And the summer bundle has got quite a lot of templates, so you're not even,
it does,
templates with a video of Anna showing you how to use the Canva template. So it's really makes it really easy. You can just go on there and brand it and create your own thing. And I think over the summer, people do find that really helpful when we're a bit short. Got
yeah.
So yeah, I would say planning is key to consistency there. And we all fall off the planning wagon, we all fall off the social media wagon sometimes, but you just got to get back up on it. Right, so last question on this one, my computer's just gone off, is what should I focus on if I'm just starting out with social media and have no idea where to begin? So this again is something where people can get really stuck in overthinking, and it is like, you've just got to start, right? And just not worry about what people think about, is this right, is this wrong? Because the best measure of whether your content is working or not is what you're getting back from people, so putting it out there and seeing how it's received is one of the best ways to learn. But then also you can do things like have a look around at other accounts, not to copy anybody or not to get yourself into a state of comparisonitis, but to see what other people are putting out there and how well it's landing, and seeing like, oh, how could I take this trend that this person is doing here and make it work for my business and for what I want to do. And I do want to stipulate, like, absolutely you should not be looking at somebody else's post and copying and pasting and just checking.
No,
because that's just going to really pee people off. They've spent ages coming up with something and you've just come along and swiped it. Nuh-uh. You need to really put yourself into it and think about how you want to say something and how you want to create something. But idea collections is a good one. We have a little trawl, don't we? We save things. We're like, oh, I like that, I like that, I like that, and put our own spin on it.
yeah, just for ideas. I think one of the other things, don't underestimate the behind the scenes stuff. People love behind the scenes setting up your studying, your, you know, if you've chosen your venue, this sort of stuff's great for stories, but you can do it as a video or you know, as a series of photos as well. Even family stuff, like if you don't have to share a lot about your kids or, you know, their faces or anything like that if you have got your own young family, but just everyday stuff, people love that. Like we don't have to, again, we don't have to overthink it, we don't have to share everything on social media either, but just allowing people to tune in to you, what you do. You know, for me, I often post a little bit on my daily walks. Sometimes I'll share something funny has happened to me, like when I fell in the sea with my coat on the other day. Just silly stuff, you know. Give people a little bit of an insight into how ditzy I am. But also just, yeah, like a selfie in my clinic room, or, you know, it doesn't have to be complicated. That's all that people need. Obviously, we need to make sure on social media that we have got our services there, ideally on a pinned post. So something about our services so that people can know, oh, I like this person, what do they offer and how can I take the next step? So that'll be your links as well. So that's a good place to start, like thinking about what are my top 3 pinned posts going to be. Ideally something about your services, perhaps something about yourself so people can get to know a little bit about you, but it can be something, again, really simple, like 5 fun facts about me, or 5 things most people don't know about me, or something. People love that kind of stuff because it's something a bit quirky. And then what would you say for that 3rd pinned post, Liz? What might be a good...
It could be something that might show, give people an understanding of what it is that you offer. So, for, like, if it's baby massage, a post about like how transformational baby massage can be for mother and baby. If it's about hypnobirthing, it's like how can hypnobirthing take you from feeling scared and afraid to feeling confident and empowered. And there you go, you've got your 3 pinned posts, so that when somebody does come and take a look at your social media, they've got that right there. But then, like on the regular, you're doing a variety of different stuff, you know, appeals to your ideal clients. We can't sit here and go, oh, you should post a day, you know, a weekly affirmation, or you should post I don't know, about myths and facts. Like you've got to think about what your ideal client wants. But at the same time, I am a great believer in just being like, just try it. Like just
just see what lands.
Right at the beginning, you've got hardly anybody watching you, so just like practice, just go for it and practice and build up. You can always delete it later, like as you develop and you're like, oh gosh, that was so cringe right in the beginning, delete it, no one will ever know. But just don't be afraid, get out there and just do it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, you know, good luck with that. And come and practice with us. Come and comment on our social media and come and make a bit of a presence with us. Have a little chat, interact with us under our posts, and then we will chat back to you. And all of that stuff is going to help you get more confident, you know, where you're at. And the more that you do that and the more that you post, it is going to grow. I know in the beginning it can be really slow. But you just gotta keep at it, and you know, try and have fun. I remember when I first came over to Instagram, I was a little bit behind in the game, I suppose, and I just found it so much more fun than Facebook, and it was my place to have fun, and that's what grew it for me, really. So try not to be sort of too strategy. Try and, you know, make it enjoyable for yourself as well.
Yeah, exactly, because then you'll want to be there rather than it feeling like a chore. Definitely. Great. So we will love you and leave you for this week, but just wanted to remind you that we would love it. We have so many compliments on this podcast. People tell us that they listen every week, or that, you know, they're regular listeners. So please, whether this is your first episode you've listened to or your 100th, I don't know how many episodes we've done now, that please would you leave us a review and like and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, you know, leave us a comment. We really appreciate the interaction, and it helps us to push the podcast out further.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, see you next week. Bye.